This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. You tuned in to the TCSF podcast with Big Z. We got JC in the house. We got Ivan from Tape Never Lies also here. And we come straight to you from the 606 Community Studios, powered by True Chicago Sports Fans. This is episode 298, and we're going to talk about Illinois basketball, Cubs and White Sox opening day reactions. They're actually playing at the moment as well, and what's going on at the Madhouse on Madison, and a little bit of notes on the Chicago Bears. So lots of stuff to take care of. And remember to stop by at 606media.com, your ultimate source for all things Chicago. You can check out our gear. We have tons of stuff on the TCSL podcast, T-shirts for the love of sports merchandise, and other cool stuff on there. You can also check all the podcasts that are up there in Podsticate with myself. You can check back old school episodes of True Chicago Sports Fans. I'm going to start posting oldies. I'm going to go back into the older laptop and get the old Zoom recordings of interviews when we had Yomer Sanchez and Carlos Zambrano. I'm going to look through the archives and put those up pretty soon. So look out for those. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, smash and subscribe. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast app, leave us a 5-star review. It means the world to us. But without further ado, let's strap it in, get ready for an unforgettable ride through the best of Chicago sports culture and beyond. Let's get started with the Illini shocking the country. They didn't think that they were the ones. Illinois men's basketball pulled off a huge win over the Houston Cougars in the NCAA Tournament, and now all eyes on their next matchup against UConn and the Huskies men's basketball team. So they were not favored against Houston. Illinois still pulled it off. We have tons of great performances. Merkovich, if I'm saying that correctly, had 9 and 12. You had what's his name? Ivan, you make her correct me on his name. Is it Ivic? Ivisic? Ivisic had 13 points, 4 rebounds. Wagler was a stud with 25 points. Stojakovic. Why am I saying that?
Look, just because my name is Ivan doesn't mean I'm actually an Eastern European and shit, dog. I mean, come on.
Hey, don't look at me. Because I'm white doesn't mean I can say it either.
Right.
He had 17, and then we had a couple of guys in single digits here. But what a complete game by this team who has come around after struggling getting into the tournament, after losing in the Big Ten tournament, and now they're one win away from the championship. All they got to do is take care of business against UConn. And UConn is no slouch. They were ranked number 2 for a reason. Their last game, I just lost my screen here. They beat the other ones that beat Duke when that second buzzer beater, that 3-pointer that came out of nowhere on a deflection. So they can be beat. What I am looking at is that what Illinois has been doing on a defensive front, where they're limiting their opponents. Against Iowa, they limited them to 59. Against Houston, 55. Against VCU, gets 55 points. And then, in the first round, they scored 105 and limited Penn to 70. So the defensive aspect is what's carrying this team. Boys, what did you guys see?
I think there's a difference between this team in that final month and this team right now. They're not running into easy opponents. You know what I mean? Like, it's not necessarily a cakewalk that they got to the Final Four. But to be honest with you, if they were playing like this that last month of the season into that Big Ten tournament, maybe they win that Big Ten tournament. They gave up so many big leads late in games that really put a smear on a quite successful season, and we could see the potential of this team right now. So I feel like they're in a great spot. They were, pretty much written off after these ugly losses late in the regular season, the Big Ten tournament loss to Wisconsin. These things didn't catch up to them and ruin the chemistry of the team. It doesn't seem like anybody got down or what have you. It seems like they've been motivated after those losses to really turn it into another gear. So as long as they can continue to hit their shots when they need it, make the fucking free throws, and just do a good job with on the offensive boards, I feel like this team could get to the championship. It's weird to say, but I think they can do it.
JC.
I mean, everything that I've been seeing is like just some criticism stuff, from the media, basically saying that, Illinois brought in a bunch of guys from the European pro leagues and paid, 24-year-olds to come in and play for them. So whether or not that changes, how things go in the future, who knows? Maybe it changes how NCAA looks at prospects from overseas to bring them in and play for them in the college ranks. Maybe Illinois unlocks something that's going to cause some stuff down the road, to have other teams look at other, opportunities and leagues to bring in players from. I mean, that's really the only thing I've been kind of reading about, is that kind of stuff.
Well, they're not the only NCAA team that is doing that. They're just trying to focus on Illinois that's done it. At the end of the day, now that you're paying players to come play for you, it's a business. So you're going to recruit players for wherever you can. I brought up this point at the other bar. You can go to the NBA, right? Or the G League, to the G League, and still have eligibility to come back because you're not in the league. And there's been a couple of players that have done that. So at the end of the day, right now, basketball, college athletics as a whole is a business now. That you're paying players, and they can move just like in free agency every year, right? I don't like the coach left, whatever it may be. There's a transfer portal.
It was always a business. They just didn't pay their employees. You know what I mean? Like it was just a business where we keep the money and you just keep. It was essentially, and I don't like to use it, but we'll call it indentured servants, right? We'll call it that type of an agreement. You're there for 4 years. You play basketball. They probably feed you here and there or whatever if you're lucky, and that was it. But now it's like, if you could find a guy, right? And in Europe, they have club teams and they go, I guess their professional leagues that you could start younger. You could go right to their pro leagues. But for me, it's like, well, if that's the case, as long as these guys aren't I would say 24 would probably be where I would be done with it. But if these guys are like fucking 30, damn near, pushing 27, 28, 29, like that's when I'd be like, all right. This is a grown ass man who should be at another level, regardless of whether he didn't go to college and has the eligibility or not. But as long as, and I don't know if there's a cap or whatever, but as long as you are, I would say under 25, I think if you're there for 1 year, there for 4 years or whatever, I think that's all right. Whether they make rules, that's in the future, but right now this is well within Illinois' rights to do.
Hey man, you have to take care of the rules, and I mean by that is like use them to your advantage until they change the rules. You're still playing by the rules, you're just exposing it. Guess what? How long have you guys been complaining about the Dodgers and signing them down the road and kicking the can down the road? So now the NCAA players are able to move around. You're paying players. Now you got the ability to recruit across the world, not just in Alabama, New York, and Chicago, and Texas, and California, and Florida. Now it's a worldwide net that you're looking for.
And you got guys that are better skilled because it's a different. You don't have this AAU syndrome out over there that you have here in America. And I sent you a clip about it was a good back and forth between RJ Richard Jefferson and everybody's favorite NBA nutcase, Kendrick Perkins. And quite honestly, RJ is 100% right with how American basketball is being taught, or the lack thereof. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the stats. It's all about the flashiness. There's no fundamentals. There's no, correct. Like it's just something. It's go, 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 go. As much attention as you could bring to the program, the coach, and maybe the 1-star kid that you have.
Oh, you mean like LeBron? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Something like that.
I mean, let's be honest. Like we've talked about this. I don't like watching the NBA much anymore because of the style of play. There's no defense anymore. There's no like everybody's best friends with everybody. There's no rivalries. There's no hatred anymore. We grew up on hatred. Like the Pistons and the Bulls did not like each other. The Celtics and, the teams did not like each other. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden it's like they walk out on the court, they're hugging, they're dapping each other up, all this stuff, and like I watched the video just the other day of like where it was like players that wouldn't pass LeBron the ball, and it was like, oh, this is how you get kicked off the team or get traded by LeBron and the Lakers because you don't pass LeBron the ball. And it was like dudes taking wide open shots and LeBron walking up to them after they took the shot. Why didn't you pass me the ball?
Oh.
And it's like, because you're 42 years old and all you're trying to do is pad your stats, not win games. Like, we are trying to win here, not pad your stats because you want to be the all-time greatest player over whoever. And the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter how many points or what your stats are or anything like that. You're never going to be better than Jordan.
No.
Never.
We can all agree on that. All right, let's pivot on to what's exciting for us right now, which is Chicago baseball. We were all at the Chicago Cubs opener this past Thursday. It was a great day until the weather got into it, but I'm gonna let you guys do it. You guys are the Cub fans. Ivan, what was your take on opening day, start to finish?
Well, I mean, you want to know the start? It started off with a bang. I was just say that. Started off with a bang. Yeah. Get to Jose's house, and there's next block. There's a huge fire. So started off hot. Literally started off hot, and thank God Jose told me to get the jacket because we're all the way up top. I mean, I like sitting up top, that 400 right next to the fence because you can
see everything.
You can see everything. Let's just say that, right? You can see everything. But this time, man, and I've been on some cold ones. It wasn't the coldest one I've been to, but I swear it was like we got up there. Josh forgot his jacket. He didn't bring the jacket, so that wind was kicking up. You even felt it, Jose. I was all right, but I was still feeling it, here and there. But as soon as we got down to Gallagher Way, dude, it was like a completely different. It was hotter, like at least 10 degrees hotter. We were down there kicking it, but it was opening days are always fun. I don't care. It's always something new. Win or lose, it's fun for me. It's to me, that's the one time where it's like, okay, whatever happens here, to me it doesn't care because we're about to start off the season. But with the Cubs losing the series, it like some people a little bit, just a little much on the criticism, and I think the Cubs will be all right. We'll say that after 3 games, I don't think you need to make an assessment on the team.
JC, what was your experience like?
My experience was a lot different than you guys because I didn't actually attend the game in-house or in Wrigley. I went the opposite way. I kept watching tickets and trying to see what the prices were. Prices even day of game were like $86 for standing room only. And I basically said, hey, for $86, I'm going to go to the sports book at DraftKings and I'm going to go chill. I'm going to have a burger. And I had 3 of my good buddies that I have known since grade school with me, and we ran up $119 tab between the four of us. And it was, and that was, we had other food that was on separate tabs. But at one point we moved to a high top table. I put down my credit card, and that tab ended up being like $119. So for $119 on my credit card, that was an extra, what, $30 rather than paying for a ticket in standing room 400 level, freezing my ass off next to you guys. I was nice. I was comfy. I was watching on 100-inch, whatever their massive screens are. And we were chilling on a high top, drinking some suds.
That sounds solid. It was good. I mean, again, either way, you couldn't go wrong. You were in the vicinity. You're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is, like, pregame, me and my buddies, we were at Murphy's. Then, we walked around, took photos at Harry Carey statue. We walked around to the store. We didn't go into the store, but then, like, we walked around, like, the area where everybody's playing bags and congregating, and you're walking through all the camera setups for the news stations, are interviewing people. You got the drummer boys out there doing their thing, trying to make some money, playing buckets.
But bucket men, all right, bucket men.
Not bucket boys, because they were grown men. But again, like it was the vibe. It's the just getting out there and enjoying, being in the neighborhood, participating. There was a lot of people, man. A lot of people.
Obviously, a home opener brings everybody out.
Oh yeah,
and it was a great time. Obviously, that's why we try to plan it out. And thanks to everybody who came out. We had different sets of friends all hanging out with us, and it was cold. I mean, it was nice until we got inside the ballpark, and then that wind just started swirling about 30 miles an hour, all over. I got some chicken tenders, and I got another complaint about the chicken tenders again. There's no sauce with it now. There is no sauce that comes with it. Yeah, and they were expensive. They were like $20 for chicken tendies.
Wait, no sauce.
No sauce. I opened the box. I'm like, okay, cool. There's good fries. Pretty sized chicken tenders. All right, great. And wait, where's my honey mustard? Where's my barbecue sauce?
Just dry ass chicken.
Right. I just went back over there. I asked the attendant. It was like one of those Amazon things. I'm like, yo, where's the barbecue sauce or the honey mustard sauce? I didn't see it at the display. They're like, oh, our condiments are over there, sir. I'm like, those condiments are for hot dogs. I don't have a hot dog. I have chicken tendies. And chicken tendies kind of easy. Barbecue sauce or honey mustard. Where's that at? Oh, I don't know, sir. You might have to go to another stand over there. Like, no, absolutely not. And let me tell you, by the time I got up the little bitty stairs in the 400 section, and I got to my seat, I started opening that box. Them chicken tenders were cold.
Oh,
it was that bad. I didn't even finish the fries. I gave the fries to Ivan. They were kind of.
I was happy.
Yeah, I mean. The last time I went to the Cubs game and I sat in like the 100 level, I got like a big, huge Bavarian pretzel. I mean, it was like a pizza box. I mean, I'm talking like a 14-inch pizza box. I mean, that's how big the pretzel was. I enjoyed the pretzel. Came with honey, like Dijon mustard and some stuff and whatever. But yeah, I mean, what I don't get is like every stadium now, like nothing is made to order anymore. Like everything's like pre-made, sitting in warmers, like
not my stadium.
cooked like 30 minutes, 45 minutes ago. Again, I don't get it. And even when we went to the Chicago Fire game, same thing. Like all the hot dogs are sitting there like in a warmer, and like you walk up and it's like a self-serve kiosk, and it's like, what are we doing? Like, is there any like food that's like made in-house that I walk up and be like, hey, I want a brisket sandwich, or I want a burger or a pizza?
It costs $57.55 before tax.
What does?
No, I'm just saying, if you're gonna get something like that, like they're gonna fucking overprice it like a motherfucker.
Well, but again, to me, it's one of those where, like, I mean, I saw like the was it like a churro and ice cream thing, like that looked interesting to me. I mean, I didn't go into Wrigley this time, but like the churro and ice cream looked interesting, and then I think they had some sort of like beef sandwich or something. Like they had like 3 items that they announced, kind of like the White Sox do.
Yeah, they had like a home plate with fries, and it might have been Italian beef and giardiniera and a bunch of cool stuff on it. Yeah, I'm not paying $50 for a meal like that. That's insane what they charge.
Well, guys, at the sports book, I had a great smash burger and French fries, and I think it cost me like $16 at the sports book.
Not bad.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe we'll do that.
I thought it was pretty good.
Some Cub notes. We have some signings, right? Nico Horner agrees to an extension. He will make
141, I believe.
Yep, and a $5 million bonus. And then, obviously the PCA one, which is around the same amount of time. So it looks like they're securing the same.
PCA made less though, correct? He was in like the 120 range.
No, I don't think so.
PCA contract.
Oh yeah, you're right. 6 years, 115.
Yeah, so I mean that kind of shocks me that PCA is making less than Nico, but I mean technically I guess Nico's got Gold Glove and
yeah, he's got tenure. Like I mean he's done things in the league to where that Gold Glove kicks you up, right? Like it's got to send up the price tag a little bit.
Which also I guess technically we're paying PCA early.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we get a little like slight discount on that because we're paying him early rather than
right. You're buying his out. Essentially, you're buying out his arbitration years.
Yeah,
that's all that is. So you're avoiding those 2.5 years of that, almost 3 years of that. So, again, it's great. You're securing your players, keeping them happy, keeping the fans happy, letting them know that you are now on a winning track and you're trying to win for the next 5 years. By solidifying center field. Go ahead.
And that attracts the free agents, right? Now you have you see the core, right? The core is what? Swanson, PCA, Bregman, Bush, fucking Nico. You got whatever happened. You got Hap obviously, but whatever happens in right, happens like if it's interchangeable, but. Hopefully, Sayak could be a part of that. But you see a team that's going to be there for, like you said, a 5-year window. Why wouldn't a top-end player want to come here and help out, especially if they are successful and have winning seasons, a winning season this year? And, yeah, I would think this should be attractive to bringing in other people because you've given quality players, I believe, this time the big money. Right, you went ahead and jumped at it. You got these guys locked up for a good amount of years. This is the time. This is the time where you go after big name guys. Where you add a couple top end relievers. Where you add a top pitcher. Where you add another bat. To help you out. Right. This is the time you do it after you've given the money to the guys that you've brought up. Like those are Cubs. Like they're not given big, huge money, except for Bregman, outside to other people. They're giving it to the Cubs, the guys that they've groomed and trained. So I'm all for it. Like I like the moves that they made so far.
It's definitely great because now, like you said, you paid in-house. You paid your guys you developed and brought up to the system. You're paying them. You hired a gun, Alex Bregman, a total winner. You traded for Edward Cabrera, and you gave up Kate Horton, who did well this weekend as well. You have Matt Shaw, who's going to be playing out of position for a little bit, but you need his bat. Another great addition to that mix right there of that young core. Ballesteros, we'll see what he does, right?
Got 2 RBIs tonight.
Right. You have Miguel Amaya as your catcher. Gotten a lot of these guys, Daniel Palencia, another guy out of your system, all doing well, all very young, all in that same track. And then you can do interchangeable pieces to add from free agency and add to the winning culture. So yeah, they're doing it the right way right now. I mean, we've been complaining about the Cubs for years. Fix the bullpen. Okay. looks like they fixed the bullpen right now, and now they're starting to add championship pieces. So it's looking good for the Cubs. They are winning 6-0 against the Angels, who I believe were 3-0, if I remember correctly. I think. Let's see.
Yeah, just to bring it up real quick. So we got Dansby Swanson. He is lined up till. Sorry, let me expand my screen here. So we got Swanson till 2029, Bregman to 2030, Nico Horners to 2032, P. Crow to 2031. Saya's up at the end of this year. He'll be a
Happer
free
with a
agent.
bomb. Sorry, Jesse. Happer to home run.
You're good. And Ian Happ will be at the end of this year. Saya's 27, Happ 28. And Matthew Boyd is good till 2027. So really, I mean, you've pretty much locked up most of your infield with Bregman, Nico, and Swanson, right? Bush, like I said, whether or not they offer him a little bit longer, because I'm trying to, sorry, that was Boyd. Where's Bush?
Give him like a 2-3 year extension.
I don't know why Bush isn't on here. Huh.
He's into 29, I believe.
Yeah, like I said, he's not popping up on my thing here. But I thought they extended Bush anyway for what it is. Yeah, no Bush on here. I don't. That's weird. Anyway, regardless, I mean that locks up pretty much your entire infield with Swanson, Bregman, Horner, and Bush, right? Yeah, you're gonna lose Saya, who talking to one of my guys on opening day, Saya's kind of that hit for contact guy that gets on base and moves people along, which is kind of what the Cubs need because, for years, especially with the World Series Cubs, we kind of lived and died by the long ball. And come playoffs, pitchers don't tend to give up that kind of, style of baseball. Like you have to be able to play small ball as well. So.
Oh, no. It was a great day for opening day. The Cubs are on track to win today to, even out their season at 2-2. That'll be correct, right? 2 losses, 2 wins. Yep, they'll be at 2-2. Again, it's early. So Cubs fans, relax. It's a long season. I don't even look at the standings right now. April and May, you're fixing out all the kinks, getting into the groove, getting into your rotations, and being able to get comfortable. Once it gets
that's like opening day. The fact that we gave up so many runs, like by the 4th and 5th inning. I mean, listen, that's not normal. So chalk it up to first day jitters, whatever. But I don't see us giving up 7 runs to the Nationals, on a consistent basis.
Well, you saw how the wind was, and I told you guys like something's gonna, and I was like somebody's gonna put one out, and it was like I don't know the way. I'm like dog, this is Wrigley. I've seen this shit. It's gonna blow that way. It's gonna stop for an inning, and that's when they're gonna bomb away. And I don't know if it stopped, but you seen Happ crush a ball the other day. Absolutely crush a ball. And it killed it. The wind killed it 130-some feet. The ball would have been on Waveland, with the whole tracker that they got. Would have been on Waveland with the swing and the contact that he had. Knocked it down 100 feet. It's caught in the middle of left field. And then these guys are hitting balls that's just kept carrying, and boom, it's gone. I mean, that shit happens with this weather. That shit happens in April. Now, if they go on a 10-game fucking losing streak, then we have a problem. You know what I mean? Like if you're if you lose the next 2 series, we got a fucking issue. But at one series, you saw how fluky it was with some of these hits and home runs that these guys on the Nationals got. You give them credit; they won the game, but I'm not panicking. There's no panic right now.
No, the only panic I would have is like watching opening game was, Matt Shaw looked a little lost out there in right field. That's the only thing to me. Like, I know it's not his normal position, and he's gonna have to work through it. But he did look a little lost out there, and it was a windy day. So I mean,
Okay, that's fine, but like, man, like, so like the first one he got where he jumped, I'm like, dude, the wind's blowing right, and it was that at that moment blowing directly to right, like right into the corner in right field. Outfielder, your first step is back, and like he came in at least 2-3 steps, like at least that, and luckily he was able to get back and make that jump, or that's even more runs for them.
yeah. Like I said, not his normal position. He looks a little lost out there right now, and with time, you get more comfortable. They're going to lean on PCA to help him out, but there's only so much help you can give. Most of the hits were almost dead in the corner on opening day, so PCA can't run that fast to make it to the corner.
No.
So Shaw's going to have to put in some work.
It'll be interesting. And I really have high hopes for the Chicago Cubs. I think we all do here, and we're expecting a good playoff push. So we'll keep it here with the Cubs. But let's switch over to the South Side, the Chicago White Sox. I get to play
we could do a little lead in with, people living and dying by the long ball. I gotta take it down because YouTube's been on my ass. White Sox actually won their first game of the season today against the Miami Marlins, who were 3-0 at the point. Now they're 3-1. The White Sox are 1-3 with a 9-4 victory. Another grand slam today. Vargas hit a grand slam. He had 6 ribbies today. Murakami did not hit a home run. He had 3 home runs in the first 3 games against the Brewers, and they were no cheapies. Montgomery with a grand slam opening day. A homer. Was a leadoff homer. First White Sox to have a leadoff homer ever. I think's crazy on opening day. Everson Pereira had a nice home run yesterday. He's one of the kids we got from the Yankees. Tristan Peters, who, again, these are a bunch of names that at the beginning last week I had no idea who they were because we were all watching the WBC. So you got Peters, Derek Hill, and Pereira manning the outfield. And I told you since before we started talking about spring training, the liability for the White Sox is going to be these old starting pitchers, and it's going to be the outfield because you have no idea who they are. The infield, I think we're great. We got Montgomery at third. You got Mydroff, who took an elbow hit to the elbow yesterday on trying to pick him off. So he's just day-to-day. Carroll is a little slow right now. Acuna he had 2 runs today on a walk. Again, they had him at short today. I was kind of surprised.
Moncada just hit a fucking 2-run homer.
Do you mean the Cubs killer?
No. I mean the fucking reggaeton singer, the fucking rapper.
That was a cheapie. I don't know about that. So we're looking at the White Sox, who were given praise by the manager from the Brewers, saying they're going to be a problem this year for the league. He recognized that it's a pretty good team. It's a bunch of young guys. The average service time for the starting for the roster for the 26 or 27 man roster is 1.2 service years. 1.2 service years. We're one of the youngest teams in the MLB, so expect a lot of growing pains. I know I've been talking about we're gonna have a lot of good players and they should have a good sophomore year. Mooney, Murakami, 3 home runs in 3 games. And he made national news, and they were talking about him like he's only get paid $17 million a year for a 2-year contract. Expect teams, if he's having a good year by June, I expect a lot of teams to be reaching out and seeing if they can flip him.
Big pay. You could not. If this kid by the break has 20 home runs, 20 to 25 home runs, which I think he could do, because
he can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Murphy, and I've said it here first. This Cubs fan seen it first, and I told you, bro. This team, they're just young and dumb enough. They got the right guy, a manager. I I honestly truly believe in Will Venable. The way that, like, I mean, it doesn't seem like anybody is trying to press, like these young kids are trying to force their way into doing something. They're just playing baseball and they're learning and they're trying to grow at the same time. But I think they're young and dumb enough to fucking make some noise and cause some issues. I really do. Maybe they finish third, or like you finish at that bottom half or something. But I think it'll be a battle. I think they'll start to really click late in the year, whether they be in contention or not. They'll be a problem for teams that are.
Look at what happened yesterday. We had that lead. It was 9-2 until the the 7th or 8th inning, whatever it was. I think it was. I'll put it up real quick. It was the 8th inning where they scored 6 runs on us. Right? We had a pitcher that what was it? I think it was Chris Murphy went in there and just got shellackled, and then you got bases loaded, and you put in Sir Anthony Dominguez in there. I don't blame him for giving up those 2 hits and giving up some extra 2 runs. Don't blame him. That's not his situation. He came in there 8th. He's a closer. He should be coming in at 9th. Early in the season with no work. He pitched the day before, but it was on a blowout situation. They were losing. But that's a team that won. How many wins? How many games did they win? 95 games, whatever it was. They won the division. The Brewers. So you kept up with the Brewers in one of those games. I mean, the first game we got blown out 14-2. It was ugly. Second game 6-1. But third game, you had it for most of the time. And again, there's going to be some dumb losses like this for these young players. Wait till mid-year when they pull up the young pitching. Antanashi has 2 home runs already in 2 games in AAA. You're gonna have some guys pushing at that glass window, getting to the major leagues and saying, you know what, we're ready to go. Look what they did with Corey Lee. They DFA'd him. They're like, we're done with you. You have not been producing. Your framing's horrible. You don't need framing that much anymore because you can tap your helmet now and get that call return. So the White Sox are going to be a young, exciting team. Just wait till this starts clicking. A lot of it, I think, is just jitters. You have a lot of guys who have never played in the major leagues up here right now. But Miguel Vargas, home run today. Obviously, he knows third base is solidified for him. For the time
For how
being.
long? For how long? Yeah, right.
For the time being, right? Because once they draft Cholowski, I really think Cholowski breaks camp with them next year. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I would look at who's the shortstop? Montgomery
Montgomery plays shortstop. He would move to third.
That's what I'm saying. Like if Vargas doesn't produce this first half, Vargas will be on the trade block. Like you would be looking to move him
first.
You can move him first, or you move him to first and do that. But like I'm talking about his bat. You can't just move him to first and his bat changes. Like if his bat doesn't consistently drive in runs in the spot that he's in, because what is he at third?
Yep.
Was he hitting third? You got to drive in runs. You got to be you got to be part of the reason your team scores. And if that isn't, coming to fruition, you got to make a move. I'm sorry, you made a move for him thinking that he would be a major part of this rebuild. Like, let's be real. Like, he was on the Dodgers. He's on the Dodgers for a reason, because I think he could potentially become something. I mean, you got to produce. If you don't, I would go Montgomery, look for a trade partner for Vargas, and get whatever you can.
Yeah. Again, this is going to be a lot of prove it or be shipped out kind of year for these guys. Austin Hayes, we'll see what he can do. He's got him from Baltimore. You've got Sosa, right? He's a man with no position, but if his bat, he led the team with 25 home runs last year. So if he can do that kind of production, that'd be great. But there's no position for him at the moment, so he's subbing in and out and playing DH. Miguel Vargas, if his bat is not consistent this year, they're going to move on for him. Obviously, Carroll and Teo are going to be your catchers of the future. They have a lot of – if Everson Pereira, who didn't get a chance, I forgot where he was prior to the Yankees. This is his third team. It's a prove it or being shipped out. We got the other Montgomery, Braden Montgomery, that's about to push that glass ceiling as well and jump on and play center field. Like there's guys that are going to be here very, very soon and have shown that they can handle the stick and play pretty good defense. So it's going to be an exciting season for the White Sox, who open at home this Thursday. Me and Ivan will be going, and we'll be tailgating. We'll do a little live show out of the back of the Jeep, and we'll be I got my co-workers tailgate to be at, and we'll bounce around from tailgate to tailgate after that and go live for a couple minutes here and there. So it's going to be a good time. Check us out. I'm excited. I'm excited for the White Sox. I'm excited for the White Sox home opener. I'm excited to have fresh food cooked for me at the White Sox park, because they cook their hot dogs right there in front of you with grilled onions, and they have that burger spot. What is it? I forgot the name of it, but they cook your burger as to order right there. So
we got the world's biggest bar and the world's biggest restaurant in both sides of town. There you go.
Yes, we do. All right,
now,
boys.
if they could just merge food, just something like that. I'm actually gonna take off right here. I got the kids screaming up there. I'm gonna go see what the hell is going on. But I am actually eager to see if this, like, let's say the Sox, before I leave.
Yeah, good.
Let's say the Sox are in third, right? Let's say the third by the deadline. Would you say that they would limit the amount of trade? Would you think the trades would be limited, or do they still have to just pop guys off and continue a rebuild as if it were, ground zero?
I don't think it'll be ground zero. I just really think that because they have so many young prospects that need to be brought up at this point, I don't think there'll be major trades. Maybe on the pitching side, some of these old pitchers will be moved on from. Obviously, Eric Fetty, if we can flip him again and get some more prospects, that'd be great. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys that are journeymen, your Austin Hayes, there's Tristan Peters, there's a couple of Derek Hill. There's a couple guys. Your Miguel Vargas, if he doesn't have the ability to put the ball in play by midseason, you're gonna see that. If Luis Angel Acuna has no production, you're gonna see him on the bench and just be a pinch runner. They're going to be aggressive and play good baseball. So if you're not playing good baseball for the White Sox, they are going to move on from you. Bring somebody up or ship out a veteran and get some more prospects. Again, this is another 5-year process, and it could be younger. It'd be quicker than that if these guys develop a little bit quicker. But again, we're going to have young pitching coming up that is going to be crazy. Wilkerman Gonzalez and a bunch of flamethrowers that we have. It's going to be great.
I'm eager to see it. I don't hate this edition of the Chicago White Sox. I think they got a leader and they got young kids that are they're grinders. They got guys that are grinders. They got potential superstars. They got a good mix. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do.
It's going to be great. All right, Ivan, are you going to take off? Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, I'll wait till the break and stuff.
Okay, it's all good. All right, well, after the break, we are going to do our Madhouse on Madhouse Report, and then JC is going to give his predictions for WrestleMania, which is this weekend coming up as well. Yeah, there you go. Put him on the spot.
Oh, we're going to be out. We're going to be out this weekend. Fucking WrestleMania.
All right, we'll be back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey there, Chicago enthusiasts. Are you ready to take your fandom to the next level? The True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast has got you covered with some serious cool merch that screams Chicago pride. From cozy sweaters to trendy tank tops, we got it all. Show off your love for the city with our iconic red, white, and blue logo, or stand out with our exclusive collection for the love of sports. Whether you're lounging at home, breaking a sweat at the gym, or cheering on your team at a game, our gear is a must-have for all you diehard Chicago sports fans out there. Don't hesitate. Visit bonfire.com/store/606-media-store/. Or simply just click the link in the description and snag your gear ASAP. Get ready to make some noise, show your pride, and embrace the Chicago spirit with True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast merch. Designed for you, the ultimate fan, for the love of sports. Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to No War on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
Back to True Chicago Sports Fans podcast with Big Z, and we got JC Dynasty Fantasy Football in the house. It's time to do our Madison on Matt House report. And let's start off with the good team. Let's start off with the Blackhawks. All right, the Blackhawks lately have been competing. They've been having leads and then losing at the end. That's the type of thing that you want at the point. We got a bunch of guys under 26. I think the longest tenure Hawk has like 3 or 4 years on the team right now. We want them to continue to lose. We got a lot of young talent that'll be coming up, and they're fun to watch. We were at Ivan's garage yesterday. We got to watch the end of the game. They were up, and then they ended up losing 5-2, 5-3, or whatever it was. But again, you got guys that they brought in. Who's the player? Do you remember the player they just brought up from the Swedish league? Oh, Frondell. There you go. Sorry, Anton Frondell had 2 assists, 2 points. You're teaming him with Connor Bedard now, and Nazar, and Vlasic, and Donato. You got a lot of young guys that are going to be really good for the Blackhawks. They don't have much games to finish off the season. I think they got like 6 games to finish off.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking up the it's
8 games. They have 8 more
they've
games.
won 27 games, lost 34, OTL loss 13, points 67. So just looking over that, we got the Canucks in the Western, and then looks like that's about it. Only the Canucks, it looks like, are worse than us.
All right. 69, 73, and then us. Oh yeah, just one team. Oh no. Oh yeah, it's the Canucks. So with a top
the
two,
Panthers are at 35 and the Rangers are at 30. So like I said, just the Canucks are worse than us.
We can end up with a number 1 pick, and then next year you can add some really good veterans to supplement the young boys, and the Blackhawks I really think can take off pretty soon. I think the coaching has been pretty good. The defense is lacking, obviously, by losing 6-1, 5-3, 5-1. The defense is lacking.
We've been saying for years, like, the guys in front of the goalie are just not up to snuff. And we went to a game last year, and the puck hardly ever left our side of the ice. And you can't have that. And the one game that we went to last year, like the passing, even like when we were trying to get the puck out of our end, the passing was not there. The outlets were not there. So it's little things that, with a young team, young talent, you're trying to build, trust with each other, all of those things. And that comes with time, and it comes with talent as well. If you don't trust where your guys are going to be and in the outlet passes and stuff like that, you're going to give up passes in your zone, and it's going to stay in your zone because, more disciplined teams and better talent are going to keep it in the zone. So,
again, we have a lot of young and up and coming teams in Chicago, and the one I have the most confidence right now is the Blackhawks. The Bears have arrived. We're waiting for the Blackhawks to catch up. The Cubs are on the precipice of giving a prolonged playoff push. The White Sox are still developing, we don't know where they are yet. But it's going to be exciting. The Blackhawks are really, really exciting team. Lots of young talent. Just wait to the offseason to see what they do with additions, with the draft. They should have, top 1, 2 draft pick. I don't think they win all 8 games, so they can pretty much secure what's going on in their draft position. So it's going to be fun for the Blackhawks, and continue to watch and support the Blackhawks. All right, the other team, Jesus Christ, we have to talk about this. The only reason we're talking about this because there's Bulls news today. That's why. All right, Chicago Bulls wave Jaden Ivey today in the wake of an anti-LBGTQ comments and remarks about religion. He made him multiple videos on his Instagram account by going live. He quoted, I'm quoting him. They proclaim Pride Month in the NBA. He said they proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, "Come join us for Pride Month, celebrate unrighteousness." These are his words. They proclaim it. They proclaim it on billboards. They proclaim it on the streets, unrighteousness. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? How are they to say that this man is crazy? Everyone comes with, oh, yeah. So he did a bunch of posts against LGBTQ, against religion and other stuff. Coach Billy Donovan said the Bulls have employees from all different walks of life, and Ivey's comments do not reflect the values of the organization. Everyone comes to their own personal experience, but one is we've got all to be professional. I think there's got to be a high level of respect for one another, and we've got to help each other and be accountable for those standards. So when I broke this news and I put it on the page as soon as it happens, I sent it to the boys on the chat, and Ivan said that they should sue. Ivy should sue the Bulls and NBA. Now, here's the little thing: when you sign a contract for an employer, there is most likely a morality clause. So, if you break the morality clause in any professional sport, you will be let go. It is your job to be a professional. It is your job to work out, to be part of the sport. You, depending how higher you are on the hierarchy of skills, you will be a public figure doing charity work or some type of appearances. But do not go on live. There's no reason to do that. Hire a publicist, hire whoever you need to hire to do all that social media for you. But you thinking that you can go out there and just speak your mind and it contradicts the inclusiveness and of what is the Chicago Bulls. Bad move, kid. Bad move. JC?
You know what? I don't know what to say about this because I know like there's been controversy in baseball where pitchers and some players have come out and said, I will not wear the pride stuff, on my jersey, and it's due to my religious beliefs and everything of that nature, and so, unfortunately, I have not seen the videos of what exactly Ivy had to say. I'm finding out all of this, basically right now. I know you shared it in group chat, but I didn't have a chance to read it. Yes, your employer has the right to fire you if they're going to lose sponsorships and everything else over everything that you say. Unfortunately, as a sports athlete, as a person in the public eye, you're going to be asked questions about things of this nature. And, unfortunately, in today's day and age, you can either be a hero or you can be completely blackballed and, fired from your job based on what you say. So sometimes, the best thing to say is, I have no comment on this. Please speak to the Cubs organization, about what they believe, but I have no further comment,
Yes.
and keep it like that. Listen, everybody has personal beliefs in, everything going on in the world today. Sometimes the best thing to do is just keep your mouth shut and worry about you. Don't worry about everybody else.
It is. And he even went on live after they let him go. He said he didn't get waived. And he said that other teams won't sign him because they think he's too religious. He said, I was in the gym, rehabbing, doing what's required of my job. He also went out live with on an airplane, and the flight attendant had to tell him multiple times to end his live because we're taking off. That's an FAA rule. Phones should be off. I get it. but when your social media starts to interfere with your job, it's a problem. You are more than I'm more than happy to be like, you know what? Your opinion's your opinion on religion, on politics, whatever you believe in life. That's, again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But when you're doing it at that high level at a sport, your job should be like, you know what? I'm not going to speak on religion. I'm not going to speak on politics. I feel like it's divisive, and I don't want to, put myself in that situation where I have to explain my beliefs. My beliefs are my beliefs. And the story, if you want to talk about the game, how I did today, or my rehab, I can answer all those questions. But you stay away from those divisive topics because there's no clear answer on either of those. Everyone has their beliefs, and everybody, they'll die on a sword about them. Stay away from that shit. Just stay away from that shit. So the Bulls have an option.
Let's be honest. I mean, he spoke his beliefs, right? Now he probably will not make it on another team, because every team's going to see it as cancer now. So great. You're 24, 25, 26, and you'll never play in the NBA again because you came out and said something that you believe, which, again, there's nothing wrong with having your beliefs. But in today's day and age, it doesn't matter which side you're on. They will vilify you if you're on the left, if you're on the right, if you believe in something, if you don't believe in something. Someone's going to find an issue with what you have to say. So sometimes it's better to leave it to the Bulls PR team to, say what they got to say. And again, I understand that there are players that have stood up for their beliefs. Like I said, there are pitchers in the MLB that have refused to wear, jerseys or patches on their uniform because of their religious beliefs. Who's the famous basketball player that would wear shoes that were he would always have writings on them?
There'd be a couple. There'd be a couple that they would put, they would put Bible verses on their shoes and stuff like that. There's multiple.
But he was famous for hating LeBron. Is it Cantor? Maybe. I
can't remember at the moment.
But anyway, he always had some political stuff, especially I think it was about children and stuff like that, with a lot of the child trafficking, and he was very whatever about his stances on things. And look, I'm all for it. You know what? If you have a soapbox that you want to speak on about some stuff, especially child trafficking or stuff like that, and bring light to something, because again, you have I know what it was. It was about he refused to wear Nikes because of, and he had a big problem with China because of the shoes and the labor laws over there and all that stuff. Right. I forget the basketball player's name, but it was a big thing, and he talked trash about LeBron and all that stuff. Again, sometimes it's best to, and again, I know you have beliefs. I know you have, like I said, there are many religious people in sports, and they pray, they do everything. Unfortunately, you said something, and now your career may be over.
Right. And again, he's not at the top of the food chain. If it's a LeBron, if it's, what can I think? Maybe a KD. If you're not, those guys at the top of the food chain for the NBA, they have a soapbox that they can get on, and they can say whatever they want with little to no repercussions by saying something. You're not even playing.
No. And let's be honest, everybody here knows I'm not a LeBron fan. So when LeBron speaks, I hate on him anyway. Right. So, it's one of those where sometimes even stuff LeBron says, it's one of those where it's did you do any research on what you're saying? It's, I don't know. And again, I'm not trying to stir the pot. I'm not trying to cause any whatever. But the bottom line is it even in my job, right? If I say something on here like horribly wrong, my job technically could probably use what I say on here to fire me from my job because of social media and everything else.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
one of those, like, you got to be careful in what you say and what you do, and realize, hey, like, even though I'm not a LeBron, right? But hey, I have a podcast, we have, what are we up to now? Like 500 subscribers, or,
That's
close to
600 some
1,000.
change, yeah. 600
So,
some change.
so like I said, we have an audience that, like I said, it's one of those where whatever I say, whatever I believe, it could cause me issues, even at my job.
Yeah. Same.
So, it's one of those, again, whatever you believe, I hate to say it, but sometimes it's better to just keep it to yourself.
Definitely. And I mean, there's other videos where he was talking about that, he suffers from mental health, and thank you, Tim, for chiming in, and that he and his partners would get combative, and he was and he used the word abuser. I don't know if it was physical or verbal. Again, I'm not trying to accuse him or anything, but I thought that was in one of his videos. Again, there should be no reason that you're on live if you're not at the top of the food chain and you don't have a PR team handling what it is you're going to be filming. So at the end of the day, it cost him a job. He might not play in the NBA ever again. Tim said he'll be in Salt Lake by the end of the month. No one wants to be in Salt Lake City. He's better off going overseas and doing something out there. So, all right, I am going to take another short break, and on the flip side, we're going to talk about the WrestleMania card. So it gives JC time to pull up the WrestleMania card to give his predictions.
Oh, I pulled it up on the last break.
Okay, let's take a quick break. I got to pour some more soda for myself. So I'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey there, Chicago enthusiasts. Are you ready to take your fandom to the next level? The True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast has got you covered with some serious cool merch that screams Chicago pride. From cozy sweaters to trendy tank tops, we got it all. Show off your love for the city with our iconic red, white, and blue logo, or stand out with our exclusive collection for the love of sports. Whether you're lounging at home, breaking a sweat at the gym, or cheering on your team at a game, our gear is a must-have for all you diehard Chicago sports fans out there. Don't hesitate. Visit bonfire.com/store/606-media-store/. Or simply just click the link in the description and snag your gear ASAP. Get ready to make some noise, show your pride, and embrace the Chicago spirit with True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast merch. Designed for you, the ultimate fan, for the love of sports.
Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to Nowhere on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots, so let's kick it back over to Big Z.
True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast with Big Z and JC. And it's time to talk a little wrestling. And it is WrestleMania week. Raw has just concluded. I have not seen it, so no spoilers. People that are in the chat. All right, so let's start off at the top of the card with your World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. You got the Chicago Saint, the Cup fan, the local guy, the old guy. And you have Roman Reigns.
Where is WrestleMania? Let's start there. Where is WrestleMania located?
It's in Vegas again.
Vegas. Okay.
Yeah, they're struggling to sell seats. This is like the third time in the last 2 weeks they lowered prices. And they took off the blockade of having viewing parties around the they took that away. They took that away now. So
yeah, because the casinos basically told them you'll never host another WrestleMania in Vegas again.
You're taking business from us, yes.
Yeah, because the casinos had other wrestlers booked for appearances and everything else, and then they sit there and go, no viewing parties, no whatever. And the casinos, listen, dude, they're billion-dollar companies with all the sports betting and everything else. You're going to tell them like you cannot host viewing parties? Are you
Right. Not everybody's
kidding
going
me?
to 2 days. Some people are just going one day and they're going to watch it somewhere else for the second day, a viewing party. You're
What do you
taking
think?
money out of
I just did that with the Cubs opener. Again, I went down to Wrigley, but I watched it at the sports book. I didn't go to the game because I didn't want to pay $86 for standing room.
right.
Like, I can't even imagine paying $270 for nosebleeds where the wrestlers look like ants in a box.
Right. You're just watching the screen. You might as well watch it on a better screen at the bar and better service and cheaper food. Yeah.
Yeah. So
All right, let's
again,
go with the picks.
TKO needs to figure it out. They're not doing too hot. So going with picks. All right. So we're going what? CM Punk and Roman Reigns?
Yep. CM Punk is a champion, and you got Roman Reigns.
You know what? I know they love to push Roman. And how long has Punk been champ now?
Punk has been champion for a few months now.
Then I'm gonna go CM Punk then. If it's only been a couple months, like if it had been like, okay, CM Punk is pushing on like close to a year, I might go Roman. But it's one of those, like if he's only been a couple months, not only that, I'm looking at the lower area of the card with AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. I think you would have CM Punk, AJ Lee both as champs, as husband, wife, and keep it going that way.
All right, so you're taking both CM Punk and AJ Lee for those two matches. As much as I want Punk to win, Punk is better when he's chasing. I think his promos are better. I think he's obviously being a baby face at this point. He's better chasing. Roman Reigns, we don't know if the entire family's going to come out and screw over CM Punk because you had the Usos come out. I'm going to go Roman Reigns on that one and his chiclet Chiefs. So he'll do that. Let's see. I got a chat. All right, no one's on the chat.
And I understand, like you're saying, you think he's better chasing. I just think, right now, WrestleMania, because Punk is the everyday showing up, doing the job. I think he's the working champ.
Yep.
I think they keep it with him because, Roman and all them, that story's been done already. Like, I think giving Punk a little run is the proper thing because you know what? He's giving guys like, who's the not the Freak?
Brock Lesnar?
No, the guy from Judgment Day. The Fiend, not the Fiend.
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. Like, so he's giving guys opportunities where with Roman, it's like, I don't think you're going to give opportunities to these
Because
younger
he's more of a
talents.
part-timer. Yeah, he's more of a part-timer.
So like I said, if I personally was, and again, I know WWE may not see it this way, but you know what? I want Punk to be the guy to give the opportunities to these Finn Balors, to Rey Mysterio's son.
Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic, you know what I mean? Like give these younger guys the opportunity, even when Braun Breaker comes back or, some of these guys, like CM can be the one to give these guys the opportunities. And again, Braun could easily overtake CM when he comes back. If you give it to Roman, then it's like, okay, he's the top of the card guy. And then it's like, then what? Who's going to be
for a very long time because he's got his family or his goons with him and no one can beat him, right? Yeah. So that story's already been done. It was great when it was going on, but that's done. Again, I want my heart says CM Punk, but my brain is telling me Roman Reigns on that one. All right, moving on to the undisputed. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I really just think it's going to come down to the feel good. AJ Lee and CM Punk are both champions at the same time, and they're both going to keep holding it for a little bit longer.
I can see that happening. Moving on to the undisputed WWE champions, you have Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Cody's the champion at the moment, but Randy has just turned heel, and he's been doing some of his great work right now as a heel. In the latest episode of SmackDown, he got a phone call, and it was on air, and he was like, "Oh yeah," kind of reminding him what he used to be when he was the Legend Killer. So, who do you see taking this one, Cody Rhodes or Randy Orton?
You know how I feel about this. I think Cody is a good wrestler, but I don't think he's a great wrestler. I think Randy is a star. I think Cody is above mid card, but he's not champion to me. Like he's a main eventer, like CM Punk, like Roman Reigns, whatever, but he's not the guy that I want holding my championship. Like I said, like you said, like I feel where you feel CM Punk is better chasing, I feel like Cody's better chasing than holding. Like I still feel like Cody's promos, I could live with them, could live without them. Like I said, and even though Randy, he cuts promos, like Randy's one of those, like, I don't need to talk. Let's get to work. And he puts on great matches.
And a few words, short and sweet. Let's get this done. Let me kick your ass. And again, he put some color on Cody a week ago, or was it 10 days ago, whatever it was. Busted him open. Again, Randy as a heel, phenomenal. I'm gonna go Randy Orton. I don't know about you.
I'm going Randy. I think he would be better holding the belt.
And I also want him to supersede John Cena's record by the time he finishes his career. I want Randy Orton to be the holder of that, 17, 18 championships before he retires. All right. I think he's at 14.
I was gonna say I thought it was somewhere around 14.
Yeah, you think he's at 14. Williams, WWE Women's Championship. You got Jade Cargill, who's also just picked up. What is her name? I know her as Mia. What is her? I forgot what she has. Two new females that were around her and trying to get their championship match against, never got it, and now they're with Jade Cargill as her cronies. She's the champion versus Rhea freaking Ripley. I'm gonna go off the back right here. This should be an easy one. I think Rhea should win, but they're really pushing Jade Cargill, whose promos are horrendous, whose wrestling is a newbie at best. I think she's definitely needed about another year of seasoning down in NXT before she came up. But they love her physique. They love the way she looks. They love her presentation. I think Jade wins with interference, just like this past weekend on SmackDown. But my heart goes to Rhea Ripley. You?
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm sitting, like, I had to look up who Jade was, and then once I looked her up, I'm like, okay, I know who we're talking about. Again, yeah, like you said, she has the physique, has everything, but like you, I've never really seen any highlights, anything that makes me be like with Rhea's a working wrestler that can work with everybody. Like Jade, it's one of those, like, I don't know much about her. So
Jade only wins because of the presence she's in the ring with, because she has to be carried in the ring because she cannot wrestle. She cannot wrestle.
Yeah, and listen, there's plenty of wrestlers that have had that happen. I'm trying to think of who was the redhead.
The redhead.
Yeah, she was brought up from like NXT.
Yes.
She's like,
I know what you're talking about. It's a fitness model now. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Model, yeah. I know her name. I can't think of it, but she couldn't wrestle either, and she couldn't really cut a promo. But it was the look. It was all that, and like they tried to teach her to wrestle, and she did get better over time, but it still wasn't, like some of these females, like Sol Ruka. Like, give me Sol Ruka over all these girls. I mean, just
I love Stephanie Vaquer, which is my next match. Stephanie Vaquer can go.
like I said, I mean, yes, Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vicker, Rhea Ripley, they can wrestle, right? Who like Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch, but who's the short girl?
Liv Morgan, and you got who's the other one?
No, the one that's married to the singer. Was
Andy
with
Rose?
was
Andy
with the
Rose?
Fiend. Was with the Fiend for a while. Had the dowel.
Yeah. Jesus, why can't I think of it? Wait, that is Liv Morgan.
No. It's not Liv Morgan. She was with Bray Wyatt for a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, nonetheless, we all know who I'm talking about and referencing, but she can wrestle as well. So like you have a core of like 8 girls that can really wrestle, right? And then like you said, like if you bring in Alexa Bliss, thank you. I could not think of it for the life of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those where you got to put the belt on people that can wrestle. And again, I understand Jade has the look, has the whatever, but it's like Dominic, right? If you're what you're doing in ring does not look right, the fans are not going to support it. So like, you know, and they're not going to keep supporting people that it's clear as day don't deserve or should not have it. Like, unless that's going to be the stick of like, you know, kind of like the redhead fitness influencer that we keep talking about, right?
Yeah.
Unless the stick is like you give her the belt and she kept weaseling out of matches by like, you know, whatever reason, you know, wardrobe malfunction or this or that, or, you know, getting counted out, or, you know, and that's the stick, right? I can't wrestle, but I'm going to keep holding on to this belt by any means necessary. Like, Latino Heat style, lie, cheat, steal. Like, unless you're going to make it that kind of route, like we're going to lie, cheat, steal to keep this belt. I'm cool with that, with that kind of, you know, thing going on. But again, when it's clear as day to the fans that, you know, we talk about this all the time, right? LA Knight. How many times can you watch the guy botch something in a match before you say, dude, like we want you to be the guy, but when you botch things, like how can we accept it?
Yeah, he doesn't even have a match. He doesn't have a WrestleMania at this moment. He does not, and I haven't watched Raw, so he doesn't have a match. All right, let's continue to push along to get to meet our time.
We got Stephanie and Liv Morgan.
Yep.
I don't know much about their feud going on right now. I know, you know, like Stephanie's got the championship.
Yeah,
I don't know what the purpose of giving it to Liv Morgan would be.
Yeah, I don't think she needs it. Liv Morgan is great in her segments with the Judgment Day. She really doesn't need it. And for me, Stephanie Vicker is just a true champion. Definitely can wrestle circles around a lot of these girls. Yeah. And the crowd loves her. She has a great look. Oh my God, she has a great look. So definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we all know like Liv can bring heat no matter what, whether she's the champion or not. She can make herself a very hated person, just like Dominic. So like there are Liv and Dominic's whole thing going on. I know it's gonna get stale at some point, and like somebody's gonna have to turn on somebody, you know, kind of like Finn and the Judgment Day. Somebody's gonna have to turn on
Dominic.
somebody.
It's gonna be Dominic. We all know it's gonna be Dominic, and he's gonna turn face, right? Yeah, it's gonna be him.
But it's one of those. Again, I don't see any reason to give Liv the championship.
No. Now, this is the match I am excited about. The Beast versus the Ruler. You got Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. 2 behemoths of men. I've never seen Brock Lesnar be picked up like he has been with Obafemi. Obviously, we know Brock Lesnar's at the twilight of his career. And at this point, he's there for a paycheck and to put other guys over and to pay it forward. Kind of like what John did this past year. Brock is going to be doing that for the next year until he retires. He's going to try to put guys over. And he's gonna be selective who he works with. And Obafemi has the look, can hang with some of these guys already. From the matches I've seen so far, he had a great debut at.
How old is Oba?
I can
I'm
pull
just
that up for you
curious.
right now.
Because the reason why I ask is like,
27. He's
How much?
27. 27.
So he's kind of in the prime right now, age.
Yeah. Brock.
Oh, Brock's up there.
Yeah.
Well, I say he's up there, but he's probably the same age as me.
I'm gonna guess he's older. He's older than me, so he's 48. So again,
Okay.
he's
8 years
at
older
the
than
twilight.
me.
He's
But-
at the twilight.
But it's one of those I've also heard, through the grapevine that, Paul Heyman and him have kind of said he should not lose until like he's quote unquote retirement. So it's one of those, I could
Brock
very
Lesnar
easily
does
see
okay.
where Oba loses now, but Oba will win when it's like time for Brock to quote unquote retire.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, your Oba has to win because you can't just kill the momentum you started by that huge power. What is it? What a power bomb he kind of does, and then Brock gets the best of him the next week, and then the week after that, Brock got the best of him again. I see the babyface going over on this one, but I agree with you that Brock should have a good 6-month run to the point where he wins both championships. I can see him doing that, just win both championships, and then I don't know. You can write.
We don't know. We don't know what the long term. Is Brock going to keep wrestling part time? Because I mean, listen. I mean, he's 48. If he's wrestling once every 3 months at only pay-per-views, he's not doing anything on live TV other than a little segment of I slam you once and you slam me once and step on my chest. Like, again, you could wrestle till you're 59 or Ric Flair till you're 70,
That's if he wants it. And I think he wants to spend time with his kids who are both collegiate stars. So
yeah,
I really think
Well-
he's not a toilet. Mhm.
Again, and I'm not an insider. I don't know how long he wants to continue to wrestle, but like I said, I've heard rumblings that Paul Heyman and him have basically said like, I do not wish to lose until it's like they want to make him unbeatable until like it's time for him to retire.
I can see where Brock loses it and loses by DQ and not. And
Correct.
it's not.
Yeah,
clean.
that's
not
what
clean.
that's what I was getting to is like I could see some funny business where there's some DQ, there's some count out, there's some weird thing where like Brock doesn't win but doesn't technically lose, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like where it's some funny business because again, like you want to see Oba because Oba's going to be a more on-screen television, so him a push, like literally let Oba beat the hell out of him for like 30 minutes, but then somehow Brock pulls it out last second. You know what I mean? But make Oba look good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because then
Put
that
him over.
allows Oba to, even though he loses, it like he looks dominant. He's going to be the guy on television every week. Brock is, the part-time guy that he is, but he still holds on to the accolades and whatever. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it works for me. Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. We'll make this one quick. Trick Williams should stomp out Sami Zayn. It should be no brainer.
I know you're a big Trick Williams fan. I really haven't seen much of.
I
what
think he has the look. He's athletic. I'm not a fan of him. Like, yeah, that's my guy. I'm not, but I can recognize talent. And from
I was going to say you've been pumping him up that he's probably going to be the next star.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever.
Moving towards pushing them. Yeah. This is the one I also want to see: the Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu unsanctioned match, which means it's going to be pretty much a bar fight all over the arena, all over the ring. Drew McIntyre is just a stud in the ring, can wrestle a broomstick. He's good on the mic. Jacob Fatu, he got injured earlier this year, but his star has been rising very, very fast. He's lost the weight. He's looking better. His promos are a lot better. I see this.
I'm not a big Jacob Fatu guy.
Okay.
But I again, I do like Drew. I think, and anything Drew does, like I said, Drew's a guy that should have a championship, in my opinion. He's got the look. He's, like you said, he can wrestle with anybody. I think they're giving him a match just to, keep him in the realm of
There
things.
is, but also he's already wrestled Cody. He's already wrestled Punk. I think if Randy gets that championship, then you can see Drew and Randy going. If Roman Reigns gets it, then you can see Roman and Drew go at it. I think there has to be more matchups for him, and right now there isn't. So I can see why they put Drew and Jacob. They also never finished the story when they were going at it of who stomped out Jacob Fatu's teeth. That story never had a resolution to it because Drew said it wasn't him. So you've got this match. You're going with Drew. I am going to go with Jacob on that one, with Jacob Fatu. So let's see. We've got two more matches. One I don't care about. The other one is pretty much going to be the opening match where Penta is defending his IC championship in a multi-man match, which is probably determined at Raw, which we haven't seen yet. Again, Penta's a great star. He can wrestle anybody. He wrestled Hurt. I know he tore his bicep or tricep a couple months ago and came back very quickly. He's got that, the crowd engagement. He's got the kid engagement with the Cero Miedo, all that cool stuff. I see Penta continuing his reign.
I was gonna say I don't know much about Penta, but I know he has like a huge kid following, with everything. I read some stuff and whatever, and there, like I said, there was some stuff about him and a lot of the younger generation and fans really liking him. Other than that, like I said, don't one way or another.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. It looks like I thought it was this weekend. I thought, why am I thinking everything is this weekend? It's actually Saturday, April 18th and April 19th. So we got some time. But we did cover it. I'm glad we covered it. It's in Vegas. Starts at 5.
I'm on something here, and it says likely but not confirmed. Usos versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory. Again.
Yeah. Right. We haven't watched Raw, so we don't know what other matches they're going to be filling in, because it is 2 nights, and you're looking at from 5 to 9 is about 4-hour event each night.
Yeah.
You also have the Hall of Fame. They'll do the Hall of Fame, ceremony of bringing everybody out to the stage. The Hall of Fame is usually on a Friday, so you want to see that as well. So I mean, they've got a lot.
Another likely but not confirmed: Nia Jax and Lash Legend versus the Bella Twins.
Yeah, that's the other one I didn't really care about.
To me, the Bella Twins, it's like, look, you're past your prime. I understand you came back. You're making one more run at it, but
yeah, again, the Bella Twins, I feel like they gave you the Hall of Fame, and I don't really think you are Hall of Fame worthy. They gave it to you. Bye, good luck, and then they came back.
They had their moment in time, and I understand that. And look, I can respect it if they gave them the Hall of Fame. Are they Hall of Fame worthy? No. I don't know. Like I said, they had their moment in time where they were a big thing, during the early 2000s. Like they held, the tag team division for a while. Individually, they did well for a while, but again, you watch their matches now, and it's like watching John Cena at the end, right? Like you could tell, it's the end, and there are better younger talent, especially in the female division. There's better
Female
younger
division is stacked again.
that
It's
that
the
you should
irresistible
be
forces versus the Bella Twins versus Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss versus
right.
Bailey and Lyra Valkyria.
Right. Like there's better talent, there's better whatever that deserves to be on that WrestleMania stage than them.
Oh, 100%. 100%. All right. So that covers wrestling. If any other news breaks during the week, I will pop on. And if the guys are available, they'll pop on as well. But it was a good time talking wrestling, talking Chicago baseball, Chicago sports. It's been good. I love this. Look at, we're at 1:30, right at the mark. JC's a professional.
Oh, I can make sure we hit that 1:30 mark pretty much every time.
Every time. Even when there's no news to do it, JC will make it hit 1:30. Don't worry. All right, y'all. That is it for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you to our subscribers, new and old, our listeners on the audio apps. Thank you for sticking with us. This is 298. I stopped numbering them. I know 300 is pretty soon. Thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans. Check us out on our socials. They're all right down there. Yep, check them out. Follow us. And again, you can find me at BigZ_606 Media on all my socials. You can check out JC at JC Dynasty FF on the X. You had something to talk
one
about.
One of these days, Big Z is going to teach me how to use StreamYard, and
Yeah, I'm gonna make you
when
an
that
admin.
happens, I can start doing some live shows on potential Bears players that we might be
Yes.
looking at to draft. And like I said, I'll do 15-minute, 20-minute segments. Talking about Caden McDonald or Newman out of Toledo. Just some guys that are prospects that I personally think will be in the range of our draft picks, and who we think might be interesting for us to look at as potential fillers and positions of need. In my opinion, positions of need. Bears might have completely different opinions of what their need is. So
That's the fun part.
But like I said, I would absolutely love 100% to bring that to you guys, and give a little bit of player prospect coverage for when is the draft? It's like April something.
About 2 weeks.
Is it? Wow. Yeah. So then we got to get on this NFL draft. NFL draft date. Round 1, April 23rd. So about a month.
No, after WrestleMania. Yeah, all right.
So
cool beans. We'll get you set up by then, and then all of our fans will be enjoying your content. So it'll be great. All right. So for Ivan and JC, I am Big Z. We'll see you next time for 299, or if anything breaks, we'll break it to you. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.